Alright, I call the meeting of the heroes of Riverwood to order. Dorothy the Alchemist.
That's right. Got a pretty full stock of potions and alchemy reagents.
I'm pretty inebriated.
A what?
Stump the dog. Frodnar the zombie.
Release me!
Ah! Get away!
I need some more ale.
I want to go home to my
It always ends this way. The heroes of Riverwood can never sit still for more than a minute. So, what brings you to Riverwood, my thane? Come to take your house girl on more adventures? We think very much alike, my liege. I was wondering where you were the last time I got in a tussle with some bandits. I thought to myself, why is this so much harder than before? And I realized, oh right, I don't have the savior of Skyrim fighting with me. How could I not? 5 assassins dressed in blood? It's the talk of the town. I heard my hero was quite gallant in vanquishing them. I feel terrible about the whole thing, but I can't always be here to protect them. So instead I've taken it upon myself to train everyone, but so far only the children and Embry have accepted my offer. Most days we just play tag.
I'm sure Leifur will be happy.
Do you mind keeping that closed? Why yes, it's quite comfortable in here, but when it's open there's a bit of a draft. Goodbye. Well met, and I did not doubt you for 1 minute, my lord. You are the Dragonborn, the savior of Skyrim, my rescuer, my champion, and my best friend. They will shout your name across meat holes, great and small, now until the end of time. For entirely different reasons, I'm sure. Something like, fetch me a drink, Zora, or cover your face, child. Although there may be some in the far corners of the tavern who whisper the name of Zora Fairchild, faithful companion of the Dragonborn. But I won't hold it against them. I don't know. I'd probably settle down in Riverwood and enjoy the peace and quiet. I once traded an army of suitors for a suit of armor, but right now, I don't want either of them. I want to take off this sweaty thing and put on a summer gown, then lie down in a bed of flowers near the bank of the White River. But you never know. Maybe one day a traveler might come along. Handsome but not pretty. Strong but not scary. Friendly but not creepy. Confident but not arrogant. Kind but firm. A true hero, but not like you. There will never be another like you, my Dragonborn. So, when we meet, I will tell this handsome hero to find another companion. For I am forever yours.
I have never meant to steal it.
Well, handsome but not cute. Funny but not mean. Tender but not soft. Strong but not violent. Caring but not servile. I could go on and on. I want a man who's aggressive but not impatient, creative but not obsessed, and most of all confident but not arrogant. The best I ever knew was 4 of those things, but he failed the arrogance test. He didn't just cross the border between confidence and arrogance.
I have never met
He
a
rode
stealer.
through on a gilded carriage pulled by frenzied mammoths. So, what brings you to Riverwood, my thing? Come to take your house girl on more adventures?
There's
Alright.
something I'd like to talk to you about. Have you got a minute?
Does the stone look different at all to you?
I'm sure Leifer will be happy.
Yes, I bet Sigrid is still hectoring Calvor like a pet dog. And speaking of which, it's good to see Stump is still alive too. I forget how he got his name. I think it's because he's always curled about like a stump. Just one. When I was little, I often went out into the woods to collect flowers. It was there that I found the dirtiest, most flea-ridden mongrel in all of Skyrim. He was also very adorable. The way his fur hung over his tender grey eyes, I called him Sir Cadmus, and I was in love. My mother was furious. Yet my father had a soft spot for his girls, so he tried to find a practical reason for why Cuddles couldn't stay. He pointed to how sick the dog was and how dangerous diseases were in the wild. I cried all night, burying my face in my hands. I never even noticed that my sister was gone. It was hours before dawn when the door creaked open, and I saw my sister with a healthy Sir Cuddles trundling on behind her. She spent last of her savings on a hog feather and a chariot skewer hide, and even pulled the proof for herself. Silly me, my instincts were to hug the dog. But looking back, it's the memory of my sister's compassion that I truly covet.
I want to go home to my mom.
My name is Zora Fairchild, although it was never meant to be ironic. I was once very much a child, and very much fair. So fair, in fact, that the divines saw it fit to punish me with the smart and enviable face. It's always easier to blame the gods for such things, isn't it? You were a bad liar, but I appreciate the sentiment. Have you been following me? Yes, Jocelyn told me there was a witch there who was trying to get her to join their coven. I was going to give her a very stern warning to leave my sister alone, but when I got there, there wasn't a single witch. Instead, I found a group of Nords standing outside a cave. It is very sweet that you were worried about me, but I am very good at staying alive, even if it means being kept prisoner. It was also fairly obvious that I wasn't a witch coming to wipe out their camp, but I like to think my charm had something to do with it as well. There was this mage though, with a wolf ring. He wanted to kill me anyway, but the leader, a tall dashing nerd, said I could go.
Tell me, girls, this mage you speak of.
I would
Did he
like
walk
to
with a
make
limp?
my fortune.
Oh yes, he did sort of walk funny. I thought he could have just twisted his ankle. The terrain is very rocky.
No, the wolf ring is proof
I-
enough, but the limp seals it.
Yes.
You're lucky to be alive,
That could
girl.
be
This man is as wicked as the
something.
fox is cunning. As for these men at the inn, the ones who call themselves pure-blooded Nords, they are his victims, and their blood is tainted. The wolf lives inside them. The moon calls to it and it rips apart their flesh from within. But the worst part is the man does not die. He is forced to relive this horror over and over and be the one to deal with the consequences. Then they suffer 2 diseases, of the body and of the mind. Death will cure them of both. Even in the darkest circles, the curse of the wolf blood is not given to all. Perhaps it is the same with these men. And as the girl said, there seem to be two factions within this cult. Those that follow the bearer of the ring, and those that kneel to the one who commands him. It is likely some tribute to whatever dark god is responsible for this disease. I don't know if the ring itself holds any power, just that the one who wears it makes beasts of men, and must die for this foul sorcery.
Steal it.
That's none of your concern. Your own interest in this man should be enough for two predators to work together. In the wild, when the lion and the saber cat hunt the same deer, they end up fighting each other, only to let the deer escape. The old god, you know, the one the Imperials call Julianos, he gave us wisdom so we did not act so foolish. This prey cannot be allowed to escape. But first I need to know one thing.
Blacknote could be my
When these
husband.
men left Orphan Rock, did they go west or east?
Actually, they went in different directions. The dashing north went east, but the one in the rocks went west.
Alright.
Good.
Getting a bit tired of waiting.
This means he and his wolves have returned to their lair. I will not have to kill as many Nords as I thought.
If the mage went west, then perhaps my hero and I will go east. We'll track down this other man and ask him why he's causing trouble in Riverwood.
Fine.
I'm glad
You two can
Blacknote
go wherever you
finally
want, but my business
rid
is
of
with
that
the wolves. If you're going east, girl, then go to Nilheim. I have heard one of these false sons of Skyrim lives in the tower. Your man may be with him.
Huh. This mage seems like a very bad man, but I get the feeling the handsome Nord is the one putting everyone in danger. But as always, I will let you decide. East or west?
I wonder if it's possible to make a fortune out of drinking contests. No. Bad idea.
I agree. Snakes are not very effective without their heads. I suppose that goes for most things. I'm sure our new friend will be fine by himself. My mother said cranky people tend to live very long lives.
Dogs bark at you as
Well,
soon as you get close.
So next time. Something on your mind?
Tell you what, you start running so I can stab you in the back. much easier to roll
I
when
told you,
you're dead.
Gren, this deadline you've given me won't do either of us any good. Without my research notes, I don't know where to begin on finding the location of the beast. Wait. You're not Gren. Who are you?
Can't wait to count out your points.
You're looking at one. Well, for the next 2 days
I
anyway.
thought I heard footsteps.
Gren has all but promised to have me killed if I don't make progress. The fool doesn't understand applying pressure will do no good. Sticking in this god's forsaken tower won't get me any closer to my notes. One of the bandits Gren paid off. They're supposed to be my protection, not stand over my shoulder and interrupt my research. So I interrupted his breathing. Maybe if he knew how to breathe through his nose, he'd still be alive. In any event, it's obvious what Gren's doing. Bandits are expendable, so he's saying I'm expendable too. Ha! Let's see how far he gets without me. They ran away, just trotted off down the stairs as if they had legs. You believe me, don't you? Of course not. I know the difference between a strong wind and flying books. If you'll just allow me a moment to explain, it will all make sense. Wonderful. You see, I'm not senile. Far from it. But I do misplace things from time to time. So rather than try to combat my failing memory, I tried using clairvoyance spells. But I would often lose my train of thought following the trail. So I sought a spell that would have the things I lost come to me. I presented the problem to a mage at the college, an orc named Magnol. She offered me a spell that used clairvoyance in combination with a conjured familiar, which would deliver the books like a dog fetching slippers. But the spell she crafted was completely backwards. Instead of bringing my notes to me, the familiar takes them away. And let the other faculty know of my shortcomings? Nonsense. I had aspirations of being Archmage. And I have my pride. When that girl, Mirabelle, was chosen as Master Wizard. That was the straw that broke the mammoth's back. Wait, do mammoths carry straw? Well, they should. They have much stronger backs than pack mules. Just imagine the amount of straw it would take to break one. Based on the trail from my clairvoyance spell, it seems to have wandered off further east. There's a cave not far from here called Snapleg. You'll take me there, won't you? I don't care about Gren and his crusade. I'd rather follow you. Excellent. I'm right behind you. Oh, I didn't notice you. Who might you be, young lady?
Just one of the fabled heroes of Riverwood.
Oh, yes, of course. I've heard of them. But if you don't mind like a story or two, it would help refresh my memory.
I'd love to.
strange.
What was I gonna say?
Shoot him and smash his head.
Another day, another victory.
Rats! Filthy beasts! Almost as filthy as that beer that evening.
Wait, the beer is filtered than the skimmers.
Of course, my dear. It's been bitten by rats.
You taste my soul.
What you want about witches, but they know how to cook. That smells absolutely delicious.
Jocelyn said that repeatedly.
See? And I bet you. That's a witch.
Well,
Uh-oh. Look over there.
Anybody there?
You're not free. You're as good as dead.
I'm not afraid of spiders. shoot her. I'll smash her head.
You will be so dead. So you call yourself? You scare me? You don't scare me. That's the best you can do, huh? The whites hate you. Ha
Lucky.
Now I'm gonna get you. Some enemies just don't know time to give up.
What did they use the tablet for?
Gods, how should I know? I'm not a witch. That blasted familiar. It's almost like he mistook me for the head raven. That old raven has no idea what he's doing. Now, where are my limbs? Is that my journal? Excellent! I couldn't have found it without you. In fact, this might surprise you, but I want you to keep it. That thing has brought me nothing but bad luck. All this time I've been looking for it, and what for? To help the ungrateful boy who stuck me in that tower? Thanks, but no thanks. I appreciate the offer, but I'm too old to be fighting on anyone's side. I think I'll just find somewhere quiet to live out my days. No spells, no prophecies, just me and my books to keep me... wait. I think I'm forgetting something. Oh, my wife! She must be worried sick. And probably angry as well. You know how Nord women are. Maybe I won't go home right away. And goodbye to you, young lady. I thank you for reminding me about the heroes of Riverwood. They were truly legendary warriors.
Yes? Of course. Of course.
We did not find the dashing girl, but we did learn his name. I suppose we should go west and see if Elver found anything else.
Anytime.
A queen? No, but it doesn't surprise me. With the war and the possible Kingsmoot, I'm sure there will be hundreds of sons, daughters, and cousins of Iskramor coming out of the barrows. Which is precisely why the ritual was made. To prove you are worthy, you must forge the axe with your blood, and slay the beast who cannot be slain. The location of the beast who cannot be slain. An ancient dragon, supposedly, whose fangs were harder than Stalrim. I'm a historian, you see, of the arcane. Particularly, the lost magic of the ancient Nords. Just like the dragon shows, it's not really magic as we know it, but that's simply arguing semantics. Gren's father and I were well acquainted, and he was always interested in the legends of the First Dynasty. From Iskramor to Errol to Morghast. Somewhere, the boy got it in his head that he was the bastard blood of Iskramor, and now he wants me to help him prove it. There's not much to say, other than he's arrogant, stubborn, and thinks he's the second coming of Iskramor. But the boy has charisma. I'll give him that. A good smile and a strong shout can buy you a lot of capital with young Nords.
I thought I had footsteps.
the last of them. Make for a deadly pair.
I find this a bit scary.
Huh?
Have I got freckles? I hate freckles. Dear? Oh. Why are you looking at me like that?
Wouldn't it be nice to just talk a little, you and I? Strange.
Sorry, but you left me with no choice.
So Alvar didn't make it. He seemed very troubled. I hope he at least found some peace before he died.
What? That?
Neither the mage nor the one called Gren was at either location, but we did find out some valuable information. We should take these items to your friend, the Thane. Do you have any idea where he might be? Then all we can do is wait, and it shouldn't be long. It's not like you are in the famous Dragonburn or anything. They will know where you are. After a long day in the dungeon, a warm drink and a warm bed sounds good, doesn't it? The badmen are still out there, but after today they'll think twice before attacking our town again. And for your service, I think it's time I made you an honorary hero of Riverwood. Yes, I imagine you would be. You will go down in history with names like Stamp the War Mammoth, Frodner the Fire Weaver, and even Zora the Diamond. It's a much better reward than gold, don't you think? Well met. Until next time.
Godlike Whitemane is in a better place now. Or is there any place better than Sovngarde?
Another day in this graveyard. Falkreath is a fine place to be, Roland. Falkreath is a fine place to be. Until the war comes to us, we stay put.
Someone do something.
An amulet of Mara. Someone like yourself deserves a wife who can repair your armor and forge your weapons. Not just any family. Ever heard of the Starblood Forge? My family has been the caretaker of it for centuries. It was made not long after the Oblivion Crisis, and next to the old memorial and the hero statue, it's one of the most iconic landmarks in Kvatch. They say it was built atop a well of Daedric blood, and it's in that well that the weapons are cooled. Some even say that the forge itself is haunted, specifically with the soul of one of my ancestors. Legend has it that when the Daedra invaded, she refused to leave her shop, smithing weapons for the townsfolk until the last man had fallen. That's why only those who share her blood can use the forge, and tradition that the firstborn daughter would be the one to inherit it. That would be me. It's an honor, I suppose. I know. Some people think it's the pressure or the burden of carrying on the family name. But the truth is, it's the clients. It's not like the Skyforge here. If I took over the family business, I would be crafting swords for nobles. They would be decorative art pieces, locked away in display cases, or mounted over their beds. I would be an artist more than a blacksmith. There'd be no blood on my blades, no chinks in my armor. That's not what I want. I want to craft weapons for heroes. I want to forge weapons that will slay tyrants and craft armor that repels dragonfire. forge is old and requires a lot of maintenance just to keep running. Plus it takes up a lot of land, and taxes are charged accordingly. Mother hasn't taught me how to work the Star Forge just yet, but from what I understand, it's also extremely delicate. Selling highly decorative, high-end craftsmanship is the only way the business can survive. I probably shouldn't have used the word haunted. It's not like that at all. She's more of a guardian spirit. When it comes time for me to inherit the forge, there's a ritual. A test, actually. Like my mother before me, and my grandmother before her, I must craft an object that best represents my ideals and spirit. If the object is deemed worthy, it will earn its place in the Underforge, alongside the blades, shields, and hammers of my ancestors. That's sort of what this pilgrimage is about. I'm here not just to learn from the masters, but to learn about myself. At least, that's what I told my mother. The truth is, I chose Skyrim because of the war, and the chance to forge for true warriors. You know your history. Fact is, they took a lot of cities, Kvatch included, but my mother says they never would have held it. They hear her tell it, we would have taken Kvatch back if not for the Concordant, and her blades would have killed a whole lot of Talmor. Still, the treaty did give us our home back, and if there's one thing the people of Kvatch know, it's how to rebuild. The responsibility of the forge would likely go to the next daughter in line, my sister Felicia. A fine choice. She has always been the more creative smith. Diamond-encrusted pommels, hilts that shimmered like drake scales. Everything she made was beautiful. And it wouldn't matter that the blades couldn't cut warm butter. Nobody would ever use them for battle. Alright. Of course. I wouldn't be a very good blacksmith if I turned down requests, especially from a true hero. Just tell me what kind of metal and I'll take care of it. I'm afraid I don't have any of the latter, nor can I even forge a blade using two separate metals. I'm a smith, not an alchemist. Now that's a strange request. Not in and of itself, but you're the third person to ask me that this week. I'll tell you what I told the others. The forge in Kvatch is special, and it isn't just for blood. Two lords could have easily been brothers, come separately though, so they couldn't have known each other. One of them dropped her name a couple times to point out the urgency of his quest. Maybe he was trying to impress me as well. So is it true then? This whole thing about a descendant of Isgramor? I'm a bit conflicted. I'd never forge arms against the Empire, but the chance to forge a weapon to slay a legendary beast? Aye, that's a job for me. Aye, he must think the legends and the names will be enough. Isgramor's, and maybe even yours. I can't say I disagree. To explain that, I need to explain a bit about smithing. See, when you quench a blade, you can't just use water or brine. You need to add a bit of oil to keep the thin sections from cracking, because otherwise the steam will get between the water and the blade. That makes for an uneven quench. Of course, if your well is big enough, it'll make sure the liquid stays in contact regardless. But I'm guessing we'll only have so much blood to work with. In that case, we need to brew a special oil, one that doesn't contaminate the liquid. Aye, I'm considering it. It's always been my dream to forge great weapons like this. I've actually got everything I need, with the exception of one thing. I need a bit of bloodgrass shipped from home. That's where the oil comes from. The problem is, the East Empire Company's been through a bit of a rough patch lately, and it's hard to get rare goods. Maybe you could talk to my contact Cyrus over in Wintown, and see if you can't get it shipped sooner. Until next time.
Yes, yes. What do you want? You seem like an impatient person. I don't think you understand the importance of procedure. When Isabel's last courier came by, I did as he asked, and requested the cargo be sent last week. When the ship was attacked by pirates, I did exactly what it says in the company manual, Section 1A of Chapter 12, page 143. I hired an adventurer. Well, of course not. I'm still developing it. It's an idea that came to me while watching some of my fellow employees bumble about whenever there was an emergency. I thought, what if we had a guide that prevented these fools from having to think? It would account for every scenario and plan every contingency. Most things you can anticipate. As for the rest, well, the amount of damage caused will pale in comparison to the amount prevented. Not to mention those scenarios will be added to the manual for the next employee. Yes, yes. What do you want? Oh, I take it you're one of Isabel's friends. Look, I already placed the order, and the shipment would have arrived already if not for those bandits. So I did exactly what it says in the company manual, Section 1A of Chapter 12, page 143. When you have a pirate problem, hire an adventurer. I don't know. He was a Nordman by the name of Larsden. He was traveling with an Imperial, either a bodyguard or another friend of Isabel's. I have a preference for things going right. When people fail to follow procedure, shipments get delayed. When shipments get delayed, it alters our schedule. When our schedule is constantly changing, it cripples our ability to plan ahead. People will call it bureaucracy, but there's a reason why we are the most reliable shipping company in all of Tamriel. An excellent analogy, considering the business we're engaged in. I think I'll borrow that the next time my superiors question my work on this guide. Yes, yes. What do you want? Oh, so I did exactly what it says in the... Of course. Even if he's dead, it's likely he took a few of those pirates with him. So you see, suddenly the cost of stealing our cargo has gone up. It's more trouble than it's worth. Which means they're going to fence it soon. We just have to find this person and eliminate him. Simple. I believe this fence has a system for when he meets these pirates. You see, I have a source in the black market. He also happens to be a dark elf, and every week he goes to pray over by Refugees' Rest. Now one day, he says he came across a curious thing. One of the cairns had an iron dagger stuck in the snow beside it. Even more curious is the fact that the very next day, the black market was bustling with fresh cargo. No, we don't want to spook him, and I think the dagger is a mutual sign, meaning either the fence or the pirate can place it. That means they'll both be meeting somewhere once you put it there. You will have to play it by ear. If the meat is somewhere private, feel free to kill them so long as you find out the drop location. If it's somewhere public, then your only job is to find out where the cargo is and retrieve it. That's your priority. Good. Here's the dagger. If you'll notice, the hilt is chipped. That's how you will know it's the one you left at the cairn, in case you lose track of him in a crowd. But please, try not to be seen.
Still sore where I took that arrow. I hate archers.
It's not that bad.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
Think I got a clean rug
Crazy
around
noir.
here somewhere.
You trying to get someone killed?
Lucky hit.
When Ulfric was killed, justice was done. That might sound harsh, but it's how I feel.
Need something?
Oh, sorry.
Have you ever been to the Winging Skeever? Best spirits in Skyrim, if you ask me.
Yes.
What are you doing that for?
What do you need?
At long last, Windhelm is free. No longer must we suffer persecution at the hands of Ulfric Stormcloak.
My job? Well, I'm the Watcher of the Wheel, which is... what it sounds like. I watch the wheel.
Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it.
Let me know if you see anything.
I can't thank you.
You did? I mean, of course you did. It all went according to the manual, Section 1B of Chapter 12, on how to deal with pirates. I trust you have everything you need then. The grass should be well dried, just as Isabel asked. Apparently that's how you fit more into an alembic. I suppose I should also offer you a reward for helping this transaction move along. My manual? I'm afraid that's only for employees of the East Empire Trading Company. Although I do have this page of notes on mercenary work. Maybe you might find it useful. Here, and thanks.
Only a hearty soul travels the road these days.
Oh, hello there. What can I do for you? Blades, gauntlets, I can forge anything you need. Good steel's worth every septim, remember that. An amulet of Mara. Someone like yourself deserves a wife who can repair your armor and forge your weapons. Well, of course I'd fashion a blade for you. After all you've done for the city, I'd be honoured. Although, to be honest, I'm a little worried what it might say. I've heard that in orc strongholds, the forge wife will craft a weapon for the chief on their wedding day. It will convey all her feelings, desires, fears, and in the blade, he'll see her naked for the first time. So what I suppose I'm saying is, I couldn't craft you a weapon without telling you how I feel. And it's one thing for me to say it now, and another thing for you to carry it with you. Oh, right. Forgive me, I need some time alone. That Kalmar has been fighting a lot of duels with the local lords. Vesp, being a true hero, I take it you would have run all the way to Kvatch if you had to. Hopefully it was a little easier than that. I guess all that's left now is to forge the axe. Have you gotten word from your friends? It does seem odd the Nord would just disappear. Maybe you can follow some of your other leads and find out what happened. When you do find him, tell him I'll do it. I'll forge the axe. And when it's done, no beast, dragon or otherwise will be a match for its edge. Well met. Until next time.